Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another exciting evening of being live with my special guests. And I'm going to introduce you to Lisa in a moment, but she is super special to me. And Lisa, was it not, was it not your birthday a couple days ago?
It was Tuesday. Yeah.
Happy belated birthday
Thank
to
you.
you. So hang on, I just was like, we'll just say it live so everybody can say happy birthday to you.
Yep.
All right,
Beautiful
let me say it.
56.
56.
Mhm.
You don't look a day over 46.
Thanks. Yeah.
You're
And
welcome.
everybody I met that day. This is well, you announced me and you say what
Okay,
you're gonna say.
I'll do.
I'm just got
I'll do.
stories.
Hi, Sandy. Hi, Jeremy and Amber and Priscilla and Tommy. Good to see you. And Crystal, hello. And Rosie and Jody and Linda and Michelle, thank you for being here. And where are we going? It's like romper bumper stumper boo. Jeremy and Cheryl and Lucy and Beth Rogers, good to see you. Stacy, hello. Denise, hello. Kim, hello. Karen, good to see you. Kim, everybody telling you happy birthday. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. And hello. And Laura, hello. And I was sorry, I had to belch there. Jody, hello. Sarah May, all the way from the UK, and she's up. It's like, 1 o'clock in the morning. Good morning. Sharon, hello. And Jeremy, it says happy birthday. People are saying happy birthday to you. Hey, Cameron. Happy birthday, my friend. Brooke, good to see you. Thank you for being here. And hello, and Ruth, hello, and Rosemary, happy belated birthday. You look beautiful.
Thank you, thank
And
you.
everybody's saying, hey, Janice and Sandy, love the energy. Ellen and Michelle, Letitia's driving, and she said hi. Tell her hello. Haley, hello. And look at everybody is saying hello, hello, and happy birthday. Love you, fellow Virgo. Thank you, Shirley. Ashley, hello. Michelle, hello. Look at all the people saying hello. Hello from Toronto. Hello from Toronto. So, Danielle, hello. And where is she? I didn't, because I was belching, I didn't get to say hello. Glenda, hello. I'm saying hello to you. Okay. And Gloria, hello. Thank you for being here. So, guys, here is my fabulous friend, Lisa Noland-Shalosky. And Lisa is, first of all, an amazing woman. Second of all, an amazing friend. And Lisa in the house and Virgo's in the house. Yep, Virgo energy is strong tonight. Hey, I am an honorary Virgo. I'm a Virgo rising. And the dogs are excited about that. Amazon. All right. So not only all of that, but hi Elle. Good to see you, Elle. I'm so glad you're here. And guys, thank you for praying for Elle. And Lucy said cancer free since 2015. Wonderful.
Awesome.
And I
Awesome.
have to tell everyone, please continue your prayers for Elle. She was just diagnosed
Oh,
with cancer 2 days ago,
oh wow.
breast
Oh, I'm
cancer. So
absolutely sending prayers. My goodness.
um, Cameron says, I don't know this lady, but she's glowing from the inside out.
Oh, thank
And
you,
you'll love her. You'll love her, Cameron. So Lisa is a trans. The dogs are loving it.
Gary.
There goes the Amazon truck, gone and done. Lisa is a trance medium channel. She is a master teacher with Lisa Williams. So she has been doing a lot of classes and also teaching. And Lisa and I met when I did the Sedona Celebrate Your Life retreat. And I was one of the speakers on stage, and we met, and it was like that, like
Yeah.
family. I'm telling you, like family. And we talked and we shared and we laughed and we smiled, and we were put in a group together, which unbeknownst to us, and we're like, what the what? And we had a past life regression together, and super super cool. And then Lisa decided to come on one of my retreats, and we've been friends ever since. And have I left anything out?
That's a good snapshot. Yeah. No, and
Okay.
your retreats are absolutely phenomenal.
Oh,
Like,
thank you, honey. Thank you so much.
yeah,
Thank you.
phenomenal. I suggest
And
to anybody who can to go whenever you have something going on.
thank you, Priscilla. And this is Lisa's Facebook, you guys. To go to Lisa Noland, Psychic Medium. Thank you so much. So we had you on before,
Yep.
and we had a little bit of a sharing. But do you want to tell the people that weren't on what's been going on?
So, and I'm going to try to do this without crying. For those of you who was on last, I did cry, and I'm doing so much better at not. I do cry at just a lot of things, so
It's you know what?
that's just something that happens when you go through something like this. I think you just and especially
Sue Morter,
when it came to my
Sue Morter,
birthday. Yeah, Sue Morter.
Sue Morter says tears are a byproduct of transformation.
Love it, love it,
There you
love
go.
it, love it, love
So
it.
sorry. Go ahead, honey. Go ahead.
So, Joyce, what has been going on? So we I'm sitting in my basement right now. It's the last space in the house that needs to be done. We had a fire back in October of last year, October 27th. And so we ended up living in two different hotels the first month. And then we ended up finding a furnished apartment that we moved into. And we're subsequently there until July 16th. And then we moved back into the basement in my condo because we ran out of housing money. And Monday, they are coming to finish painting the last room in the house to be done, which is the basement. So it's almost like everything is getting wrapped up, and it's interesting that I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing this with you, and then Monday's like the wrap up of that. So then in December of last year, actually I'll back it up. When I for those of you who are in the Ohio area, there's a fabulous psychic fair that happens down in Sharonville, which is down near Cincinnati. And I happened to be taking a shower that Saturday night, and I felt a lump. And I go out and I show my husband, and he's like, he goes, let's get that checked. Let's get that checked when when we get back to town. And, so I went through the entire next day having to, be present and focusing on what I do. And Monday, I called the doctor. I got in on Tuesday. By Wednesday, I was in front of a mammographer and getting an ultrasound. And the very next day was Thanksgiving. And that Wednesday, when I was there, what you never want to have do is have the doctor come in and tell you what this looks like. Now, of course, they set me up with a biopsy and found out that it was cancer. So I was officially diagnosed on December 6th with breast cancer, stage 1, HER negative, and it's estrogen positive. So um, I love this story of how spirit always takes care of us, right? Because I found it myself. And if you, gosh, was
I
that
don't know what that was, but
something?
anyway, never mind. We're fine.
Um, I was supposed to be having my surgery at the end of January, and I ended up coming down with COVID and not getting my surgery when I was supposed to. And it got pushed back to February 2nd, 2022. So it was 222222, which numbers always speak to me. And I ended up, when I was originally going to have my surgery, they were going to, I had a lumpectomy, and then they were going to come in and do breast reconstruction on both breasts to make them symmetric. When I had my thing rescheduled to February 2nd, they weren't able to align the two doctors. And I ended up only being able to have a lumpectomy, only to find out that I don't need breast reconstruction. So Spirit knew that I wasn't going to need it, and they protected me from that, which is fantastic. And then I had chemo and radiation, and that's why all the the gray hair, and it's really starting to come in curly again. For the if you've seen my photo online or anything, or those of you who know me, I know Shirley Belba's in here, and she knows me from way back, and it's very different look. Everybody, when clients, when I do, I'm not doing anything in person yet because of the house, not because of the cancer. And but when I get on a video with them, because I haven't updated my website with my new photo, they're like, "Oh, well, your hair looks so different." And like when I went to my dentist, he's like, "Oh, trying out a new hairstyle?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's called cancer," you know. But Yeah, so that's kind of in a nutshell everything that happened.
How did you, because we're talking about grounded, and you know, here we have um, Lucy says it's a day that you don't forget, and I totally hear you.
You
Um,
it's more of a, yeah, it's a day you don't forget, but it's like that deer in the headlight, and then all of a sudden it's like you don't hear anything else they're saying because you just were told you possibly have cancer or you have
right,
cancer, you know? So,
right.
yes, I agree with Lucy 100%.
And Cindy, prayers to you and your mom. She said her mom just told me on Tuesday that she has stomach cancer.
Oh my.
So empaths,
Now,
continue to
That was Cindy
breathe this
Dillon?
out.
That's my, I
Cindy
believe.
Doolin.
Oh, Doolin. I was going to say, okay. I know it's Cindy Dillon. I was going to say, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Hadn't heard that. Okay. I'm so sorry.
Um,
Absolutely sending prayers.
Same type of cancer, January 2020. Did same surgery, chemo, and rads. Hugs. Okay.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Janice. Absolutely.
And
Congratulations to
Cameron,
you.
a moment that is scared into your being. I get it. So here's here's what I'm asking for everybody to, first of all, empaths, breathe it out. Yes, thanks, Michelle, as a reminder. What is going on with this cancer? Rosemary, I don't know. I mean, my friend Al just got diagnosed a couple days ago. I really think that, well, there's a lot, but let's talk about how do we ground ourselves? How did you go from, everything that you're going through, and how did you ground and went really truly from survivor to warrior?
Oh, that's a really good question, Elias, because it's I want to say I've ebbed and flowed out of this whole experience. And if my husband were here, he would tell you he says I'm his hero because I would be helping him even though I would be in a really bad place. We were still that person for each other. Um, I feel like, are you okay? I'll just keep talking and Elias can probably hear me. Um, I feel like it's really okay. I'll say July 7th of this year was my last treatment. And when I went out there, there's a thing where I think anybody who has cancer and you finished your last treatment, you can ring a bell. So I went out there and I was just ringing that thing like crazy, and I was crying, and they were videotaping it for us so that I have it. And that is when I finally decided, all right, I'm not going to be just a survivor, but I am going to be this powerful warrior within me. And I'm going to let her come out, and I'm not going to let this happen again. So I am following all the protocols, following all of the things that have been um, told to me, guided for me, not only from spirit, but I absolutely, totally, and completely believe that the doctors, the nurses, the nurse practitioners, the technicians, everyone who's been in my path has been supportive in helping me battle this and get through this. And it's like every single day, you just wake up stronger than the day before, right? To say that I walked out of that radiation therapy with this um, really sense of grounding perspective. I can't say it was then, but it's just I don't really have like a hard date on it. It just keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger every single day. So I don't know how much of that you heard, Elias.
I heard all of it. I
Okay.
heard all of it. Sorry.
Um, so you just every single day, and then there's a place called Serendipity Stables. They have healing horses out near York Center, Ohio. They're absolutely fabulous. And I went out there on Sunday, and I hadn't seen the owner for a couple of years, and she looked at me and she goes, "You look fantastic." She said, "Your eyes are so clear." She goes, "This isn't coming back. You're not going to have to deal with this again." And I really feel that. I really feel like I am so rooted in who I am, how I'm walking this path, and there's absolutely nothing in my being that's going to allow this experience to happen again. Now, I'm taking my medicine, right? I have to take an estrogen blocker because it's, for those who've had with breast cancer, I can't speak for any other kind of cancer, but breast cancer, mine was estrogen positive. So I take an estrogen blocker. And when those hot flashes come, boy, they come raging. It's just like beads of sweat across my forehead and sweat dripping down my back, but it's all right. Because I'm just like, okay, it's going to be hot for a moment, but the cancer's not coming back. And then I'm also going to be doing I don't know if anyone listening has had anyone do this, but it's called zolonic acid. Zoltran is another name for it. People that have, what do you call it? Osteoporosis, I believe, also take these infusions. But it's an infusion that they give, I believe, once every 6 months for like a 2-year period. And it will help you, A, keep the cancer from coming back, but B, keep it from going into the bones. Because with breast cancer, the next place that it can go is into your bones. And for me, it's a little bit different case because um, when you're diagnosed with cancer, at least I can only speak for the James, I can only speak for the Ohio State University. They start doing genetic testing, and they want to know about back through both sides of the family. Where's cancer? Who's had it? What did they have? That kind of thing. Did they survive or did they pass? And they diagnosed me with a thing called Lynch syndrome. Well, Lynch syndrome, for people who have that, you are more prone to getting cancer in the bowels and in the stomach, the esophagus, and then in the female parts. So on my birthday, Elias, I had a colonoscopy and an upper endoscopy. Yeah, yeah. When,
Wow.
when I got there, I told the doctor, I said, "No, it's my birthday today. You be careful back there." It was just, and the other, I mean, I would have to say that one of the main things I've done through all of this is try to have a good sense of humor, right? Laughing at
And
my
that is a gift. That is a gift of yours. That is such a gift of yours.
I mean,
Truly.
I personally didn't want to wear a wig. I didn't want to deal with all of that. So I just walked around bald for several months. Right? It's just
Right.
and when my husband had to shave my head, he gave me what he calls the Ben Franklin. So he shaved all of my curls off except for just right across the back. So I just had this bald head and this hair hanging. It was just crazy. Right? Like, so we're just trying to find ways to be like, how can I not let cancer take over me? Right? Now, can I say I did this every day? No, because I had days
No,
where I
of
would
course
cry.
not.
I
Right.
had days where it was really difficult and I was really sick. But for the most part, when I look back on this, I'm like, I feel like I can, you know, you go, girl. You did a really good job, and I can laugh at myself. And even today, my husband and I, my husband and I were at the bank, and the guy needed to see both of our IDs, and they were. I was looking at them upside down, and I thought, oh my God, you can't tell which ID is mine and which one's my husband's because I just went last week and had my new ID done, and our hair looks exactly the same, only he doesn't have hair on the top. But it just, so I make little funny remarks about silly things like that. It's like, if you can't laugh at yourself, but I feel like
Yeah.
laughter has helped me get through a lot of it too.
Oh, and
Just
laughter is so grounding. I want to go to this really quick. Stacy said our son-in-law just passed away from cancer. He just turned
oh,
40.
Stacy, I'm so
Prayers to you
sorry. Yeah, prayers to you for
and
sure.
cancer support group and
Yep.
attitude. I just want to go to some of these. I'm a 22-year-old cervical cancer survivor.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Um, oh no, the Amazon lady screwed up and it was the next door neighbor and blah blah blah. Anyway, um, path after cancer. I don't think we arrive anywhere. It's really a back and forth. My daughter-in-law's mother has stage 4 cancer. So let's see. I just want to get to. Sandy wants to know, was it genetic?
My mother has not had cancer. Uh, but my grandmother, so my mom's mom had breast cancer. Um, so it cancer does run in our family, but not so much breast other than my grandma. Most of it is ovarian and colon.
Jody says I was more grounded during cancer treatment than any other time of my life. Lucy said it's about attitude. Is it true that it got stronger and stronger? Was it like waves in an upward trajectory overall?
Yes.
Hmm.
Yep.
Um, let's see. Thank you, Elias. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, you guys, just prayers for Al. I mean, to get that news, and here's the thing that I think is so important. It is about support. It is, who are your advocates? Who are your support? Who is your note taker? Who are those people? And this goes with anybody, whether it's
Yep.
cancer or any type of disease or even emotional, everyone, emotional dis-ease. When you have that, this is why community is so important. It's about reaching out and reaching out and really knowing who we have that are in our corners, and that's why it's so important.
And I
Sarah
think
says, "Would you go ahead?"
yes, that's exactly the one I was gonna respond to. Absolutely, Sarah. My husband has been so absolutely incredible through all of this. He was at every single doctor appointment, every single one. And the only one he hasn't been to was after all my cancer treatments. It was a checkup with my medical oncologist just to see where I was and to talk about the zolonic acid. And when I was there was so much information coming at me. I was like, why didn't I let him come? Because he wanted to come, and I was like, no, don't take another day off. You've taken so many days off. I mean, when I was doing chemo, he was literally laying in bed with me.
Mm,
Like he has literally been there by my side through all of this. Um, and doesn't care that I didn't have hair, thought I was really brave for walking around bald, wasn't embarrassed by me. I have a dear friend of mine who's when she had breast cancer and she lost all of her hair, her husband was embarrassed to be with her when they were out in public when she wouldn't wear a hat or a wig. And I'm like, my husband is like, I'm just grateful that I still have you.
right,
So it is
right.
really super important to have someone in your camp. That was absolutely 100%. That was a huge, huge, huge thing for me.
And that grounds you. To
Yes,
have that person
that
grounds you.
absolutely has.
And Al says, "Thank you." And Cameron, you remember Al? Cameron, so Cameron and Al I've known for a long time. Cameron came on one of my first retreats, and Al, you guys, is my friend. She has been on Saved by the Bell. She was one of the extras on Saved by the one of
Oh,
the full-time
fun! What
extras on
fun
Saved by the
trivia!
Bell. Yeah, yeah. Haley says, "I'm a nurse tech, and I'm proud of you for being on top of everything, Lisa. Your
Yeah.
personal education is so good for others to hear. I work at an infusion center, and we work with all our hospital oncology patients. That's
Okay, so
wonderful."
she's been one of those people that would help. Yep. Yep.
Um, and laughter is an amazing tool. Shortly after my stroke, I had a muscle spasm in my arm and punched myself in the face. I laughed so hard I walked my husband. Um, Shirley says,
Oh.
my sister's bald head was just beautiful. I always kissed her on its top.
So,
That's awesome.
surely I would walk around and tell people if they wanted to rub rub my head for good luck. They were more than I mean, to think back on it now, I'm like, "You wanna rub my head for good luck?" Nobody would refuse. They just thought, "Oh,
Right,
that's Lisa,"
right.
So
Jody
it's
says infusion nurses are angels. Yes,
yes,
surviving the
they
waves
absolutely are.
of lymphoma, currently in remission.
Oh, congratulations,
Prayers
Laura.
to you,
That's
Laura.
awesome.
Prayers to
Yeah.
you. If my partner were embarrassed of my bald head, that would be divorce papers worthy impossible incarceration. You're
Yeah.
cute. You're cute.
Yeah, and
So
even
we
and
go ahead.
even now, it's like now that my hair is starting to grow out, it's getting to a point now where I'm actually getting bedhead. I told my husband, I was like, "Look, I'm getting bedhead. Look at that. That's something to celebrate, when you got
Yeah.
enough hair that you're getting bedhead.
I know. And Lisa was funny the last time she came on. Her hair was a little bit shorter. She was like, "Look, we could be brother and sister."
All right, but
I'm like,
now
"We
look,
could."
yeah, look at us now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just almost, well, I think yours is probably still a little bit longer than mine. I'm about a quarter of an inch, maybe. And my
Yeah.
husband's like, I
Ooh, look
see
at
it's getting
that.
long enough where I can start to part it too, right? So I'm
Oh
always
yeah.
doing this,
Yeah.
trying to find where my natural part is.
Cynthia says last July I had vulgar cancer. All gone now. I get checked every 6 months.
Excellent. Wonderful.
Yes, that's amazing. That is amazing. So I know we're here talking about grounding. What would you tell somebody besides laughter? What would you tell somebody for them to step into their warrior shoes? Not just survivor, because it's not, pardon me, it's not just about surviving. It's about really like, yes, let's go.
You know,
You are that Xena woman.
yeah, it is about leaning into those things that you want to do. Just do it, right? Like, we are buying a hot tub. We have talked about this for years and years and years and years and years. And all day today, we've been working on our deck, preparing for a hot tub to come, right? It's about, things that I have done is if something happens and it feels difficult, I'm breathing through it. It's like, okay, I know that this is something that, I how do I want to describe what I'm saying? It's, there's going to be days, even as a warrior, that you're going to feel like, oh my God, I'm so tired of carrying this energy, right? I'm so tired of holding myself and putting myself. And that's when I turn to spirit, right? I absolutely turn to spirit. Turn to your guides, you turn to the angels, you turn to the, loved ones that have gone before you to hold you up. It's about, you know, turning yourself into something that, what do I like to do? I love to work with wood. I love to whittle. I try not to say no to anything with friends where I can go out and I can just, be in the energy of loving people. um, you
Mm.
know I'm, I just share my story with whoever will listen, and I try to smile everywhere I go. It's kind of weird, but people are be like, what? Why is she walking around with that smile on her face? But I'm just like, I just make, small talk with strangers. Like, I'm holding myself on every side. I feel like, the other part of this is, I'm going to be going out and seeing the sequoia trees again. I'm taking my husband out west to see them in the month of October. And I often will say, be as strong as a sequoia tree, right? So I
Mhm.
literally will see myself just being like, nothing can knock me over. Nothing can, not even the strongest wind is going to blow through and cause me to lean so far that I snap. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
And Skinny says, I looked after my dad who had bowel cancer and I was with him all the way. I have absolute compassion for people who go through this. Now, Skinny is from New Zealand. She's Maori. And
Oh,
Sharon says, living each day to your best. Yes.
yes.
And she says, you're amazing. Um, Wahani Toa. I hope I said that right. Strong woman. So she's calling you a strong woman.
Oh, thank you.
So
Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah.
Um, My tree lately has been a willow. I love that. I love that. Uh, Giant redwoods is my grounding peaceful. Yes. Stacy says it's so hard to do when you have someone ripping your limbs away. So Stacy, it is. Somebody said something earlier. Let me just scroll back up. Um, and I missed it um, because of the comment earlier. Oh, well, because of the Amazon lady that's like, no, this was delivered to your
And
your
why
house instead of
while you're
mine.
looking
Yeah.
for that, I'm gonna answer
Yes,
Shirley. He absolutely,
please.
I've got my little poodle and he absolutely helped. Matter of fact, he's laying on the floor over here with me now. But he too has cancer. My
Mm,
treatments were done on 7/7, and we found out on 7/8 that he has, anal gland cancer. and it's getting bad. He's not going to be here much longer. But it was just, he was just absolutely, I personally think he tried to take my cancer from me.
I
I,
would say so as
I,
well.
I still think that.
I would say so as well. I really
Did you
believe
find
that.
what you were looking for Stacy?
I did. I did. And Stacy, you said that you needed something. What did you need, Stacy? Lucy said her dog and cat did help. Excellent. Um,
Yeah.
so I want everybody to know when we do these kinds of talks, unless we say we're going to do a reading, this is mostly about information, about the grounding. It's more, so next month we're talking about change. So we're going to have, many of you are from TikTok, and I so appreciate you um, being here. And I appreciate you, you know, wanting to learn and wanting to educate self. And this is why we do it in community. It's not always about, here's a tarot card or here's an oracle card or here's a medium reading. It's really about how do you bring hearts together? And that is the most important piece here. We'll pray for people. We'll do whatever we need to do within community. But when it comes to something as serious as this, Lisa, she had to stop working for a while. And you are an amazing intuitive. You're
Thank you.
amazing psychic.
Thank you, Elias.
People need to know that about you. And I'm not saying, go ahead, show us what you got. I'm saying that if people want to know what you do, they need to go to your website and take a look. And you have a gentle way of getting the pieces together. And I'll
Mm-hmm.
have to tell you guys, Lisa saw this house that I was going to rent. She saw it, and hang on one second. My husband said again, how much is this costing? Zero, just my time. Exactly, Sandy. And if he's more than welcome to sit in and watch, if you'd like. So Mallory said, Lisa's amazing. Much love to you. Thank you. Thank you. And yes, again, here is her website.
Thank you,
Linda
Priscilla.
said, I'm learning to let my heart love me slowly. Thank you, Linda. I'm so glad. So glad. There you have. Every day I went for radiation, I played my Beatles music loud and sang with it. It made me stronger. I love that.
There's a young lady who, what's the show that Simon Cowell has? Simon Cowell, is it, anyway, her name was she went by Songbird, and she's actually from the Zanesville, Ohio area, which is just, that's right near where I grew up. And when she was auditioning for whatever Simon Cowell's show is, which I can't, somebody tell me what that is.
American Idol.
American Idol. Yeah, it's American Idol or
Yeah.
something like that. Nightbird. Is that Nightbird? And she sings a song called I'm Okay. I'm Okay. She actually, America's Got Talent. Maybe that's what it was.
America's Got Talent. There you go,
She
yeah.
wrote a song called I'm Okay, and it was an original piece by her. And when Simon was talking with her, he's like, well, why did you write this song and all this? She says, well, I have cancer. She was currently in treatments, and she had like a 2% chance of living. And I'm telling you, to see her, yeah, America's Got Talent, Nightbird, she's actually passed away now. She didn't make it, but she was so flippin' amazing. And I honestly got to tell you guys, as I was going through this, I would think about her all the time. I would think about her, and I would think about that song, and I would listen to that song. You can pull it up. It's on YouTube. She's absolutely phenomenal young woman, but she's touched so many hearts, even though she didn't make it. That 5 minutes of fame that she got from being on that show changed so many lives, and it has helped so many people, including myself. Because my mom would play the song a lot because it helped her, with a daughter who's going through this, or sometimes your caregivers or the people that love you don't know how to help you either, other than just
Right.
finding their own ways to ground through it. But I encourage anyone and everyone to listen to that song. It's absolutely amazing. Or find a song that really resonates with you, that can really put you into that space and place of, you feel strong, and you feel like that sequoia tree or that redwood tree, that nobody can knock you over and nobody can push you down because you're so strong in that space and place where you are. I mean, there's music that's going to touch everyone. Or maybe it's
Right.
just listening to drumming, or some other type of Zen meditation music. Um, it was just awesome to listen to music for me. And then other things where if I was having a bad day and I needed to hear laughter from someone else, or someone, I needed that energy to make me giggle, I watched the old reruns of Carol Burnett on YouTube and pull them up. Oh, what's the matter, puppy? My puppy's down here crying because he can't get up on the couch.
Oh,
But it's just you have to find ways. And then there would be days where I would just color, because I had a friend who bought me a coloring book while I was
just
off.
art.
And
Yeah.
so I would just do something that would move me back into, letting my little inner child have a voice, and let her play, and just give her space to just be, you know.
And that's part of grounding everybody. It's really about, how do you go in, say yes to you, say, you have this horrible thing, this is a fear, right? And I don't want to say you embrace it, but you say okay. You say okay to it. And you say, what is it that you need to show me through this?
Yes.
What is it? And what do others see through this?
You
Just
know.
like that beautiful person, Nightbird. I mean,
Yeah.
that is, you know, um, people are saying we're inspired by a lot. Yeah, I totally get it. You know, it is it is about, for me, I think that, I was never in that situation, but I know that when I was in the hospital for 5 days, and I had to ask for support, which is something I don't ask for. That was my lesson. And not only did it happen once, it happened years later because I still didn't learn that lesson. And let me tell you now that it's, I still sometimes get that little nudge where I'm like, yes, okay, I'll ask for this, or I will take that time off, or I will
Yeah.
say this, I will say no when I usually say yes, or yes when I usually say no. I think it's about being in that moment.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
And there were so many times where, it would have been incredibly easy for me to say, "Why me?" Incredibly easy.
right.
Um, but again, my faith, spirit, I know that cancer came to me for a reason, right? If you follow the teachings of Louise Hay, there's everything happens in the emotional field, or the authority. What am I? The auric field first, and then
Right,
it comes in as a physical manifestation, right?
right,
I never did take the time to look up what she said about cancer, because I was told that this was part of my life's path. So no matter what I did from an emotional standpoint, this is something that on my soul level, when I contracted this life, this was
right.
something that I contracted to experience, right? And it was a choice. There was a point in this journey where this could have been an exit for me if I wanted it to be. And I can remember very clearly getting that message, and I was like, I'm not leaving yet, because I haven't finished what I'm here to do. I haven't had enough experiences with my husband. I want more of that, and I just want to keep loving, and I want to keep sharing however I'm supposed to do that, in whatever way. Just keep leading me, guiding me, and showing me, and I'll show up. I'll show up. It's just, so you just have to decide that life is worth living, and that, yes, there's going to be challenges, and yes, there's sucky things that happen, and there's sucky people, but I don't have to let them set the stage for how I show up for myself.
Right,
Right.
right.
And, so I don't,
And that's an important piece, Lisa. how you show up for self. Huge, important piece. Carol says she had kidney and colon cancer 8 years apart. She chose not to focus on it.
Right. You just, it's just, I don't know how I guess you just, as long as you don't let it define you,
Yeah,
then it doesn't own you. At least that's
right.
been my personal experience, but I'm a survivor of it. And, so I can't say what that would be like for someone who doesn't have the fortune of being caught early or it being something that was as curable as my cancer.
And that's why I say you're a warrior of it, because you like moved through it. And yes, all these things that happen. I mean, I've said earlier to people, what stops us blocks us, and what blocks us stops us. I mean, Elle was sharing me with on the phone the other day when she found out. She said, "I'm still spiraling. I can't process this right now." And
It's
I said,
hard.
"Then
It's hard.
let others help you with that."
Yeah.
That's the important part is to she's like, "I think we got it soon, I don't know." And what somebody said was to her was, "Okay, well, it wasn't her oncologist who told her that. It was her gynae who said, 'Oh, I'm looking in your records here, and it says,' so they didn't even give her the phone call yet to tell her.
Oh, she's.
So we know nothing about the specifics of it yet. But then her gynae went ahead and made an appointment for her to talk about all the things that they can do for it. So, and then many of you, the OGs, know who I'm talking about. Cameron knows it. Our dear friend, soul sister, Joanna Moore. We prayed for her. She had breast cancer and she decided to do chemo and non traditional. So she did chemo to attack it and then the homeopathic to build up her immune system. So she did two things at once. And
Yep.
she's like, you know, she's going to be an advocate for whoever needs. She's
Yep.
like, and Lisa, maybe I don't know, maybe you decide. I mean, I'm not suggesting this, but maybe this is part of your book.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who
Yeah,
knows?
yeah. And I'm totally, totally open for alternative therapies, but what I wasn't, I unfortunately had people trying to tell me how to manage my care. They didn't they did not want me to do chemo, right? I had people tell me don't do radiation, this and that. And I'm like, until you walk the experience, please don't judge somebody for the choices of therapy that they make.
Right.
Um, it's I personally witnessed a dear friend of mine pass because they tried to do all the alternatives and not like traditional therapies. And, I truly believed that spirit placed me in the hands of these amazing doctors. They know what they're doing. I never once felt like an experiment to them. And I still don't feel like an experiment. I feel like they've had my best care in mind always. And then
Mhm.
it was my ultimate choice to either go with that care or do something else. But please, please don't judge people for whatever choices they make, whatever paths they take to manage their care, because it is a very personal journey for them.
So true. So true. I want to ask you, would you say, because you've seen a couple clients since you're getting back into the swing again, would you say that your sessions have changed a little bit?
I would say yes. I feel more clarity. I have more empathy. I have more awareness, and there's obviously a lot more experiences that I have gained that I can I use just about every time in my readings. And obviously, if someone's on the other side and they have passed from cancer, there's this deep understanding of the experience that they went through in order
Hmm.
to to go through that journey. So I would say absolutely.
Could you explain just briefly um, to some people? Because when I say, "Oh, you're a trance channel," they don't know what that means. Could you explain to them what that means?
Sure. What trance channeling is everyone channels in some form. People channel music, you channel writing, you channel art. And what I do is I channel spirit. And when I say spirit, or I channel master beings, so I go into a meditative state, and that takes me somewhere between 3 to 5 minutes to really get into that meditative state. And then what happens for me is is I move out of the body, and then this other energy moves in, uses my voice box, and speaks through me as a vessel to get through their message to whoever is present. Beings like Gaia, Mother Gaia is someone that I channel pretty much consistently for years now. I've channeled Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, all that is, the Creator, Yeshua, Jesus, just a whole host of master beings. It is on an incredibly rare occasion. I mean, like I can count on one hand, maybe two, that I've actually channeled a deceased loved one. And when
Mm,
that happens, my energy is zapped so much, like it lasts maybe 2 minutes, and that's it. Where
mm,
channeling an ascended master, I think the longest I've ever done it is like 2 hours.
wow,
Yeah.
wow.
So it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. So that's something that we have taken advantage of. Even though I was going through all of this, I would still channel because I wanted to have that energy present in me. I wanted to be able to have that communication. And then I would express to my husband, these are my concerns. This is what I want to know. And then he would ask those questions on my behalf. And then it would help him too. Um, yes, it's exactly like what Jane Roberts did. It's exactly what Abraham does. There's so many channelers out there that are just absolutely incredible. And if anybody has Gaia TV, there's a really good series on there. Oh shoot, I think the guy. Oh shoot, just look up channelers on Gaia. There's a gentleman that goes around and he interviews different channelers, which is just absolutely amazing with what he does and how he presents it. Um, and yes, I agree. It's a definitely a needed it's a needed energy and a needed connection. And if you've ever been in the presence of someone who's channeling, the energy of the room, the energy of the person changes. Um, I don't really say that I do transfiguration, but it is there have been people that have said they could see a different energy with me. But it's palpable energy. I mean, it's just really amazing. It's incredibly beautiful.
When I get information from the angelic realm, it's different. I don't think it's a really a trans channel. Now, I am going to be taking a year program with Tony Stockwell, and I don't know if he touches upon that.
Oh, okay.
But I'm really excited to see, how that, and I
Fabulous.
love to talk to you about it too. So
Absolutely.
we can talk
Interviews
through
with
together.
that's it. Interviews with ED. Thank you, Amber. Interviews with extra dimensionals is what they're called. Extra dimensionals. And yeah, he does a great job with interviewing different people that channel different. Some people channel groups. Some people channel in people that consider individuals. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know much about Tony Stockwell, but I know what just other than what I've seen him on TV, but I've heard people that have had really great experiences with his work.
Phenomenal,
Yeah.
phenomenal. That summer class that I took, it was 5 days of 6 hours a day, um, modern mediumship. It just blew my mind away. It's stuff that I did, Lisa, before I got training, was stuff that I did, but then I had a container to put it in. So
Yes.
it's very, very interesting, very unique. So are you teaching any classes? Is anything coming up for you?
Yes, so I taught a class last weekend. I taught a Discovering Your Psychic Self class. No, all of my classes are still done in person. I don't do them online yet. And so if anybody is here locally to the Columbus, Ohio area, I've got a mediumship class, beginning mediumship class coming up on October 1st. And the first Thursday of every month, I started a development circle again. So mediumship, psychic, just, teaching, and my approach to this is I'm nothing special. I just opened the door, right? Like
Right,
it's, anybody can do what I'm doing. It's just, are you willing and open to allowing spirit to work with you and through you and to guide you and to just listen? It's listening skills, really.
right, right.
It's
It's
listening
everything that I
skills.
talk about on TikTok. It's like, I don't have all the answers. Only God and Oprah. And it's really important that we all have that radio. We all have
That's
that
it.
antenna, frequency, volume. That's it. That's it. Um, Joyce, what's the difference between channeling and an individual reading?
So, Joyce, that just depends. Like, I have a friend, her name is Nada. She's a channeler, and that is how she does her individual readings, right? Um,
Yeah,
she does. She works with oracle cards, but then she also that will be your reading. She'll trance. I don't trance for individuals, because what happens with me is there's levels of trance, and some people go into a really light trance and her eyes kind of like Esther Hicks, right?
right,
She can walk around the stage, her eyes are open, and she's fully aware and and present, but yet
right.
she's still speaking Abraham, right? Abraham's still using her. Where for me, I have to be seated, I can't stand up, I can't open my eyes, and I am 99% completely unaware of what has happened when I come back. I just, it's like a dream. I come out and
Sure.
I don't remember. So my husband always records it and then we can listen back. And that's what you call a deep trance channel. So there's different levels of it. Um it yeah, it's just, but it's such an amazing thing to be in the presence of if you've ever and then there are people that speak light language, right? So that would be like channeling as well,
Right,
right?
right,
So there's you speaking the angels where you're still channeling them. It's
right.
only you're in kind of a light,
It's a light it's a light thing, yeah.
it's a fluid language where it's not the way you would speak, right? It's information that they'll use my brain sometimes. They'll say, let us search for a way to say this for it to make sense to the group. But a lot of it is it's not my voice inflection. It's not the way I would. It's not the way I would talk.
Right.
It's just
I get
very
it.
different.
Same here.
Yeah,
And I'll remember a little bit of it, but I don't remember all of it.
yeah, yeah.
Jerry wants to know, the circles in person too.
Yes, my circles are right now in person. Mhm.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome.
Yeah,
And if people want to get a hold of you, they get a hold of you at lisanolan.com,
LisaNoland.com. Yeah.
and it's right
I
there on
do
the
have a
screen, everybody.
yeah, I do have a Facebook page, Lisa Nolan Psychic Medium. I don't post a lot on there. I just when my cancer journey started, I walked away from all my social media and I really haven't started revving that up yet. But you can reach me through email, you can reach me through my website. And those are, and you can also, Facebook message me, you can reach me there as well. And all of my readings right now are still by Zoom. I'm reading for someone out of Italy tomorrow. I mean, I read for people all over the world. So
I love
um,
that.
yeah, so
I love
I'll be happy to help anybody that is interested.
that. Joyce says, thank you for clarifying. I love every reading we've had
Oh,
with you, Lisa. So
thanks,
much
Joyce.
energy, connectivity with loved ones and comfort. That's awesome, Joyce. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, I know I haven't done an angel message in a while. There's just been so much going on in this brain with 30 days from today, Lisa,
Yeah,
the
I
wedding.
know.
This is
Oh,
crazy,
I know.
crazy,
It's fantastic.
crazy. So there's a lot going on, and so we'll get back to it. We'll get back to it. Guys, please check out Lisa. And oh, hang on. When my grandfather had Alzheimer's, the spirit would speak through him.
Oh, that's
Interesting,
fantastic.
interesting, interesting. Thank you so much for this. It's beautiful. And that's why, you guys, we wanted to do this. I wanted to have Lisa come on because I wanted you all to see. I wanted you to see what strength is. And this
Oh,
energetically sitting next to me is strength. This is strength. This is love. This is compassion. This is moving through and being a warrior. This is what it looks like.
oh,
So
thank
I
you
want to thank
guys.
you so much for being an inspiration because this is important. And um, you know, we'll have you back on. We'll do a little more of our original fun stuff that we've done
Sure,
too.
yeah, we'll do
And
readings next time.
yeah, we will. Lisa, thank you so much. You hold the phone for a moment.
Okay,
Everyone, thank you so much. Please know that
bye.
um, I'll be back on TikTok later tonight, probably around 8:15ish Pacific time. What else do I got going on? Tomorrow we've got Introduction to the Energy Body Part 2. So that's going to be exciting for those of you that sign up. And if you haven't signed up, I really could use the Renewing Your Passion. Thanks, Priscilla. This is an honor to be part of the East West Bookstore. Um, it is $10 for Renewing Your Passion. Um, they had the big wigs there, and this is really good to have underneath my belt. So if you can support coming, please come. I'd be very grateful for you, all of you, to do that. So as always, we are here to connect, and when we connect, we educate, and we educate, we grow from our hearts to yours. Thanks, everyone, and thank you again, Lisa. Thank you so much.
You're
Please
welcome.
hold.
Thanks for having
Please
me.
hold, caller.